going on, party people? We're back with some more Babymonochrome action. In this round 2 match from the winner's bracket, we have Origamies versus Mok3s. And yeah, winner stays in the winner's bracket, loser moves on to the loser's bracket. This is Black and White Little Cup. Mok3s is the No Johns 4 champion that has been covered on this channel. And I guess they're feeling a bit nostalgic because they brought a timber to this match. But let's start with the Origami side from our perspective. So Origami's bringing sand. They got a hippo and what's most likely going to be a sand force Diglett to take advantage of that sand. And Mok3s not bringing any weather of their own to contest the sand either. Along with that, they got a Mindfu, a Ghastly, Starmie for some potential rapid spin support, and a Ferroseed to help it with some hazards too. So maybe that hippo isn't running Stealth Rock and maybe the Ferroseed has it, but who knows. And then from Mok3s' side, yeah, they got a Timber, as I mentioned already, an Abra, which won't be taking any sand damage thanks to what I'm assuming is Magic Guard. However, in the last round 2 match I covered, there was an Abra without Magic Guard, so who knows. Apparently Inner Focus is the thing to get around Fake Out from what's usually going to be Mindfu. But there are other Pokemon that can Fake Out, like Apom, of course, that we've seen a few times now in this tournament, but we'll move on. An Omnimite, which could be Shell Smash, if they're not like a hazard setting Omnimite. That being said, if that's a Shell Smashing Omnimite, I would expect Stealth Rocks on that Diglett. And then a Porygon and a Drifloon, which could also sweep too, so I don't know, I could see that Omnimite going a few different ways here. And yeah, let's get into it. Diglett lead from Origamies, Drifloon lead from Mok3s, and Diglett looking to eliminate this Drifloon immediately with Beat Up. They need a high roll. Yeah, they get it. Yeah, nice. Maybe that wasn't a high roll necessarily, but yeah. Sand Force revealed since the Porygon switched in and traces that ability. Clicks Ice Beam on Staryu coming in. Staryu follows up with a Scald, no burn, and gets paralyzed in return. So he has Natural Cure, probably. Takes a Psychic and then, ooh, gets burned here from a Scald. Clicks Recover, as both Pokemon actually just click Recover. Staryu can get out of here at any point and just Natural Cure that para off, but they might look to do it this turn since they got a Spadef drop there from that Psychic. Yeah, there it is, a Natural Cure revealed. As they go into a Ferroseed, Origamies that is. Abra coming in here. Unlikely a prediction back into Staryu. Abra takes a Scald as Abra falls up with an Energy Ball. Doesn't quite get the kill, unfortunately, on Staryu. So Abra's going to have to get out of here. Timber comes in on a Scald. Now, if this thing's Guts, they wouldn't mind the burn, but no burn. Clicks Payback on a Ghastly coming in. Good prediction by Mok3s. And takes a knockoff, losing its Violite, and then can revenge kill that, or can follow up rather, with another Payback. Diglett scaring this thing out as Porygon comes in. Takes an Earthquake. It's not going to take 2 though. And oh no, they double out. Okay, so interesting. Mindfu comes in, takes an Ice Beam. Yeah, interesting. I don't know, maybe they were expecting something else there, I guess. Hippo finally setting up the sand on turn 15. Mok3s goes into Omnimite and sets up a Shell Smash, so that kind of confirms what we were thinking earlier. But can this thing take out a Ferroseed? It can with an HP Fire. Assuming that's HP Fire. Could be fighting, I guess. Misses a big Hydro Pump on the Mindfu, which can just clean knock this thing out with a high jump kick. Unfortunate miss. Abra comes in. Clicks Psychic. And Diglett coming out to scare that thing out. Clicks Earthquake on the Timber, just clean knocks it out. Lost its Violite earlier. Mok3s sends out a Diglett to trap the opposing Diglett. Wins a potential speed tie there. And then big crit on the Mindfu as it clicks high jump kick to knock out the Diglett. But I think Abra can just... It's Abra versus Hippo at this point, actually, because of the sand damage. And an Energy Ball, no crit. And Origamies takes game 1, so there you go. Wow, kind of a wacky game. I mean, that miss, the Hydro Pump miss was pretty huge, I must say, because yeah, that definitely would have just swept. But at the same time, I mean, if you don't want to miss, use Surf, right? I mean, you know the risk involved when you click that, so Does suck for Mok3s, but at least this occurred in game 1 rather than, you know, already being down a game or something like that. So, yeah, well played by both players, but again, you know the risk involved when you run Hydro Pumps, so, you know, you kind of have to expect that from time to time. Just really bad timing on that one for Mok3s, of course. Let's get into game 2. Alright, here we go. Game 2, Mok3s and Origamies. Both players bringing Hail to this one. So, interesting. I mean, in the last match we covered with a Shreyashi and Terminal, we saw a Sand mirror match. And then for I think the first time in this tournament, we're seeing a Hail mirror match. At least of games that I've covered on the YouTube channel here. So, Origamies bringing a Hail team with a Snover, of course. Staryu, Mindfu, Natu, Porygon, and an Excadrill. So no Pokemon that are actually like Ice type or have Magic Guards. So yeah, nothing really taking advantage of that Hail really. And then you look at Mok3s' side of the field, it's kind of the same, except with Abra at least you got Magic Guard there. So I don't know, both players probably just wanting that added chip for whatever reason. But if you look, Origamies has a bit of a fatter team, while Mok3s has several Pokemon that could go for a sweep here, including a Pawniard that we haven't really seen. This thing might be running SD and can just Sucker Punch, so that Pokemon's actually looking quite threatening in this match. Just looking at the team preview. Omnite could obviously put in some work as well, so let's get into it. Mindfu lead from Mok3s, Natu lead from Origamies. Mindfu's going to probably just click Fake Out and then want to get out of there, as Natu actually outspeeds and goes for the U-turn. So Mindfu getting off the slow U-turn here. Goes into Abra, scaring out Origamies Mindfu. In comes Porygon here on a Protect. And then goes into Pawniard here on a Psychic. Probably looking to click Knockoff here on something. Nope. Sets up a sub actually in the face of a Mindfu. I think we can get off a big Iron Head for 31%. U-turn's good enough to break a sub on the Pawniard though, so Drillbur coming back out here. It could be Choice Scarf. No, they're just setting up rocks, never mind. Then follows up with a Rock Slide. Ooh, big flinch on the Drifloon, that sucks. And then clicks Rapid Spin. Was that? What's going on here? Oh, so Origamies is doing the noble thing and letting Mok3s hit them with a move. I don't know. I understand the sportsmanship there, but I don't know. You got to take that. I don't know. They go into Natu here. Takes an Acrobatics here. This thing's already boosted. Very noble from Origamies, I must say. Natu clicking Psychic as Omnite rather than Shell Smashing, just opposite click Ice Beam here. Mindfu coming in, lands the Hydro Pump this time, but gonna drop to a high jump kick. I wonder if they should have Shell Smashed earlier here. Abra versus Porygon. Abra clicking HP Fighting, not doing a ton, but does have Taunt actually. So this thing can't recover or T-Wave. And then Pawniard coming in, meet up with the Staryu, clicks SD, okay, could have some mind games here. Lands a Sucker Punch, doesn't kill though. Wow. It's a pretty bulky Staryu, I must say. Abra is going to eat a Scald and then fire off an HP Fighting just in case that Staryu wanted to switch into Porygon, which comes out now. And 2 HP Fightings will do it, but a Tri-Attack's good to knock out that Abra. Don't think that crit mattered. Snover coming out here. Finally, we actually see some Hail, which is crazy. Clicks Blizzard. Okay, base 14. Could have been. This thing might be. I'm not ruling out Choice Scarf just yet. Thing survives a U-turn. And oh wow, clean knocks out that Snover with a Blizzard. Interesting. Clicks Fake Out. And now Mok3s sends out their own Mindfu at full HP with an item still, which we confirmed was slower. Oh, maybe they're both. Maybe they're both slow Fu. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking back on that play of like, you know, giving up the Drillbur, because I mean, you could say that's the right thing to do. I'm just trying to think of how this could have changed if Drillbur didn't click Rapid Spin here. Feeling bad for the flinch, you know? It's like... I mean, like, if you attacked there... I don't know. I mean, that's one more Pokemon that could have been the difference maker, but... I mean, Origamies feeling that was the thing to do in the moment. I can't say I would have done that. Honestly. I mean, I don't know much about the player. I'm assuming Origamies is a vastly more experienced player than I am, but... It's not that I'm not sportsman-like, it's just that you kind of have to take those. I feel like, I don't know. That's just me. This is more of like a philosophical question that don't want to get into on the YouTube channel, especially while I'm recording. So, anyways, kudos to Origamies for the sportsmanship. Even though I don't think I wouldn't have been noble enough to do that. Let's get into game 3. We're all tied up at 1 here. All right, here we go. Game 3, Origamies versus Mok3s here. Origami bringing a Tortuga team, which is probably looking to shell smash sweep here. Yeah, just so cool seeing how many different Pokemon have access to shell smash, how many different flavors of these teams you can run in Gen 5 Little Cup. Also a Volibee. Is this the first Volibee we've seen in this match? Yeah, no, it has. Wow, okay. Both players bringing a Volibee at that. Origamies also has a Porygon, a Timber of their own this time. As I already mentioned, Tortuga, Natu, and what's likely an Arena Trap, Diglett this time around. Mok3s is bringing a Carvanha, which looks like it could be quite a threat in this match, as it deals with Natu quite well. You know, you get rid of that Porygon, I guess that Drillbur too. That Drillbur's, or what's it called? That Timber. It's also a little bit of a problem. But Mok3s also bringing Diglett of their own, Ferroseed looking to set up hazards, Porygon, Mindfu, and Volibee. So a pretty good defensive core from Mok3s here, but likely wanting to just get rid of that Timber and make a path for a Carvanha victory is what I'm thinking. Let's get into it. Mindfu lead versus Volibee lead from Origamies. Clicks Fake Out, gets a weak armor boost here, so Mindfu is probably looking to get out of here. Sets up a nasty plot as Mindfu actually goes for the U-turn. Okay. Interesting. Porygon comes in here. Let's see how well this thing takes a Dark Pulse. Well, it's still doing under half. You can follow up with a T-Bolt. Okay, good play by Mok3s. I'd say that's worth it. Got a shiny Timber coming out here, setting up a Bulk Up. It's able to take a Psychic, gets a drop, and then switches out of there. So I guess Origami doesn't like that. Situation there. Reveals Toxic, as both players actually have Toxic on their Porygons here. Follows up with a Tri-Attack, and then Mok3s can just recover off that damage here. But both players on a timer. Origami switching out into Natu. Take a Psychic. Another drop. Wow, that's crazy. Getting all these drops. Back into their own Porygon. Traces weak armor. That's funny that it's funny it's tracing weak armor because this Porygon traced the Volibee's weak armor. This one came in, traced that, and then after switching out, this Porygon comes out and still has weak armor. So it's kind of funny that this is the 4th time, I guess, weak armor has passed to a Pokemon in the last few turns here, which is kind of funny. Clicks Recover as Mok3s just keeps spamming T-Bolt here for damage. Mok3s is okay just giving up Porygon here, because maybe they feel like this is a good situation for a Diglett trap. Not quite able to get the KO, but the single dive to Toxic, as it's able to give that Diglett a bit of a parting gift on the way out with a Toxic of their own. Natu coming in, and then back into Drillbur to take the beat up. Maybe this one a bit more Toxic damage, so this thing's in range of a Mach Punch, which I'm thinking is going to... Origami's going to click next turn here. Goes into Mindfu instead on Mok3s' side. Much better recipient of the Mach Punch, and then can follow up with a high jump kick. Natu coming out here. Clicks Calm Mind, but gets a knockoff in return there. Ooh, Mok3s getting a big U-turn off there. As Volibee comes in, you can just knock this thing out with a Dark Pulse. Okay. In comes the Tortuga. Are we going to see a Shell Smash? We might see a flinch here. Nope. Gets the Shell Smash off. Keep in mind, Mok3s has a Pharaoh Seed at full HP still, so you still got to break through that. Mindfu instead eats a Waterfall and then follow up a high jump kick. Okay. Good play. It's Diglett versus the world here. Pharaoh Seed's going to eat one of these. Yeah, very well. Clicks Giga Drain, and that's the game, so... Has momentum. That's funny, that's funny. Yeah, why not? A bit of style points on the way out. But, yeah, Mok3s taking this match and moving on to round 3 of the winner's bracket. Must say I'm very impressed with Mok3s' play so far throughout this tournament. Shoutouts to Origamies as well. Played very well in this set and is now moving on to the loser's bracket for round 3. And this is a fun one. Glad I was able to cover this one. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.